Hey, hey. So I've been asked a few questions about my disability from somebody, and today I think I was going to touch on that. So the first question is, how old were you when you became aware of having CP? um, I'm not sure. Honestly, I think I wasn't fully aware as a child. I knew that I was different from everybody else, different from my siblings, but I don't think I truly understood why I had to go back and forth from the hospital and why I had to be taken out of class, etc., and so forth, until I was about a teenager, possibly high school. Because I do remember I had two teachers in high school that wanted me to do exercises, and they wanted to pull me out of class, and I basically told them no for a few reasons. Because number one, I was a minor, they needed my parents' permission, for one. For two, my education was more important than physical therapy at that time, to me anyways. And three, I would only agree to it if I had physical therapy before or after school. So that way it wouldn't ruin my education or the chances of me not graduating. Um, so I think I started to realize that I had um cerebral palsy is when I was probably in high school. I do remember as a kid though, in elementary classes, my dad would come every year and speak about it. Why, I walked the way I do, why I needed a walker, etc., and so forth, which was pretty cool until my fellow students called me out, tattled on me, telling my dad that I would not be using my walker, or I was using it the wrong way or something like that, and they just told on me. But um so that's what I remember. I don't think I fully truly understood it until I was in high school. Um what have been the physical and mental challenges of dealing with it? I think the physical challenges of me dealing with it is I couldn't do normal activities or extra activities. Like trying out for track or volleyball. I do remember I did try out for volleyball. I did not make the team, which was fine by me. But um, the mentality of it, uh, I just felt like I wanted to do everything else that everybody else was doing. I wanted to be as normal as possible. And for some reason, I just couldn't get it through my thick skull that, um, hold on, I lost my spot. That that I was different, and there was no possible way that I would be able to do extra activities like volleyball or track or anything like that. Um, so I gotta pull up these questions here. Physically, you know, it was all the same. I think my mentality and my physical being were about the same. Um, Mentally, I still didn't really understand. And physically, um, I felt like I was limited. I was definitely, I'm trying to think of the word. I was definitely singled out. singled out on certain things. With PE, I've had a PE teacher telling me that because of my disability, I couldn't do certain things. And it's, and I was singled out for that, and I was heartbroken. I was very heartbroken. There were times I do remember where we had to do roller skating week for PE when I was a kid in elementary school, and they had me roller skating on a mat and making me wear a helmet, and that was a huge mess. Let me tell y'all what, because nobody else had to do it, and my dad and my mom always believed, just because your legs don't work don't mean that your arms and hands don't work. So they believed that I could be as normal as possible. So that kind of hurt. I was singled out a lot. I couldn't play on the playground because they always thought that I would get hurt in some way. I'm saying a lot. I do that when I'm trying to think. And it can be very difficult as a parent and as the child that, or the person that has to deal with it, because me personally, I get singled out a lot. I get told, oh, you can't work here because of liability. What if you fall, etc., and so forth. And, I'm always gonna fall regardless. That's just part of it. That's part of cerebral palsy. You're just gonna fall, and you just have to deal with it. And but singling people out because of their differences should not happen under any circumstances. Should not happen. Not because, I'm not saying that because of my personal experience. I'm just saying, if as an adult, if you see a child that you don't think can do something, let them try it anyways. And then that way they know that they're not able to do it. I had an amazing PE teacher. He came up to me and he said, listen, we're going to roller skate for PE. I don't know if you could do it. Would you like to try it? And I said, sure. Horrible mistake. Because I felt like I was going to break my ankle. My ankles kept going to the side, and I just felt like I was going to break my ankles. And I couldn't keep my balance under any circumstances. So, but I condone the teacher. I commend the teacher for letting me try. I did try out for track one time, not really, but my brother talked to the track coach. The coach said, sure. I got there and I got dressed and everything, and I got ready for track, and the coach told me, you're disabled, there's nothing you can do. I had a PE, or not a PE teacher, I had a driver's ed teacher, and I was told because I wouldn't do the things that they wanted me to do, but at that time I truly didn't understand, and he didn't explain that to me. He came in to my home ec class, afterwards, and he told me that he did not have the license to teach me how to drive. And as a teenager, you study so hard to pass the written test. You study so hard to pass its written test. And then you have a driver's ed teacher that tells you that they didn't have the license to teach you how to drive. And it's like, then what was the point of me even going to driver's ed? What was the point? I didn't want to go to another school to see if I could drive because, I wanted to be like everybody else. So in that aspect, it hurt me because then I felt like I couldn't do anything mentally or physically. Spiritually, I've had people in my church, people would pray over me, pray healing over me, and ask God to heal me and go through this. Oh Lord, please heal her legs, make her legs straight, blah blah, right? And I wasn't completely healed like they thought I would be, and they automatically thought that the reason why I'm not healed is because of what my parents did. God was punishing me for my sins. What did your mom drink when she was pregnant with you, etc., and so forth. I was also told not to use a crutch because then I'm not relying on God's healing, and I'm relying more on my crutches more so than God, and that's not true. Listen, if you have to use a medical device, wheelchair, crutches, walkers, whatever that may be, then you go on and use them because they're there to help you. They're there to help you be mobile. They're there to help you walk. They're there to help you not fall. And that's my true belief. It has nothing to do with relying more on God. Because God understands us all. God understands us all. God knows me. God created me the way I am. And He knows. He knows I need crutches, right? So, with that said, if God didn't want me to have crutches, then He would have provided a way for me not to have crutches, right? I had a teacher telling me that because I am disabled, that nobody would love me, not even Jesus himself, and that took a toll on my spiritual aspect of it for the very long time. I thought, God doesn't love me, because if He did love me, then why am I like this? Why did God create me with a disability and not create the rest of my siblings with a disability? Why am I the only one in my family with a disability? Right. So in that aspect, it did hurt my faith. That's what I was trying to get. My faith. It did hurt my belief in Christ. I was angry with God. I'd yell at God. I'd scream at Him. I'd and ask Him why. Why did you create me this way? I can't do anything. I can't even glorify you. There's nothing I can do. And then, I was invited to a church. I love my church. And with that, with my church, we had a dance team, and I was involved in the dance team. I was heavily involved. I would do these dances, and it just made me feel great because I felt like I could do something. And now I just graduated college in 2019, and in December, and then May was my graduation or ceremony per se. And now I'm teaching in the Sunday school department, and so now I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like God created me this way for a reason, to glorify Him and to help others. And but back then I was very young in Christ, and it just hurt my faith that people would think, oh, your mom must have drank when she was pregnant with you, or God created you with this disability because He's punishing you for your parents' sin. And none of that's true. Listen, if you have a child with a disability, or somebody that has a disability, don't ever say that stuff to people, because that is the dumbest thing that you could ever say to anybody. So, that said, what and whom has been beneficial in dealing with these challenges? I think who's been benefiting are the people that are in my circle that have been around me, that have known more about it. I think my family has benefited from it because they know what it's like. They understand it. They understand the frustration that I've had. They understand the challenges. They understand my friends as well. They understand the frustration. I mean, come on, folks. I'm kind of slow when it comes to getting in and out of cars. And they have to wait a while because I'm not exactly ready. How do you deal with the frustration when confronted with issues of it or others who may be rude, crude, or indifferent to you? And how do I deal with the frustration when confronted with issues of it or others that may be rude? You know, when I was younger, I was angry. I was frustrated. I was like, why doesn't everybody just learn about cerebral palsy like they should? If you're going to be around me, you should learn about it, research it, etc. and so forth. And I'd get very upset. I'd get really depressed. I'd cry. But now, when people stare at me and I'm walking with my crutches, I'll say things like, what, you've never seen a crippled person with crutches? Or, I'm like, what, you've never seen a crippled person before? And I'm more aware of it. I do realize now that sorry. I do realize now that people don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't get it. They probably never been around somebody like me. They just don't understand. And so that said, I want to educate people. I don't get as angry or frustrated or hurt as much as I did when I was a kid and, younger. And, I'm like, oh, they just don't understand. They've never met somebody like me. They probably don't have anybody that's disabled. They don't know what it's like. I do get hurt sometimes. I think it just depends on how they say it and everything like that. I do fight back sometimes. I do not suggest that. I do not suggest arguing or fighting back. When I am alone, I will cry and I will think about it and I'm like, Lord, what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong? Because I automatically would think that something's wrong with me. And but now I just think, well, they just don't understand. They don't get it. They probably never had to deal with something. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe their loved one just died or something. I don't know. Because, hurting people hurt people, right? So maybe the people that hurt me are hurting. Maybe they're just dealing with stuff that I don't know about. That is none of my business, really. So that's how I deal with it now. Like one time, a grandmother was frantic because her granddaughter had cerebral palsy. And she was like 4 or 5 years old, and she wasn't walking yet, and she didn't know anything about cerebral palsy. She didn't understand any of it. And she's like, oh my gosh, she was completely going off charts here. And so she found out that I had it, and she came to me and she's like, "Can I ask you a few questions?" And I said, "Sure." And, she asked me, "Did you have this surgery, that surgery? Did you have to have ankle surgery? Did you have to have eye surgery? How old were you when you started walking?" And, and she's like, "I don't know what to do." And, whew, I'm gonna start crying. And I just told her to love her little girl. Love that baby. No matter what. I told her that I didn't start walking till I was about 5 or 6. And she was about 4 or something like that. I don't know. And, and I told her all the surgeries that I've had. And I said, "You know what? Everything's going to be just fine. Everything is going to be just fine." And if your granddaughter does not walk, you love her regardless, because that's what she needs. She needs love. She needs absolute love. And so, she showed me a picture of her granddaughter, and oh my goodness, you guys, that baby's so beautiful, so precious, so precious. And I wanted to pray right then and there, but we were in a public place, but she felt relief. She's like, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My granddaughter still has time to be able to walk." And I said, "Even if she doesn't, you love on that baby. You love on her. You cherish her, and you just love her, and you accept her for who she is." It just broke my heart. It just broke my heart. I had another instance where I was watching her child, and her child had baby Down syndrome, shaken baby syndrome. Her mother's bursting in tears, like, "Oh, the doctor told me that my child's gonna have cerebral palsy, and she blah blah blah." And I remember I got up from that table so fast, and I screamed, "No, she's not. No, she's not. Your daughter will not have cerebral palsy. Your daughter will walk just fine. Everything is going to be just fine." I rebuke that. I rebuke what the doctor said to you. The doctor knows nothing. And I don't normally say that about doctors, but I just, I don't know what overcame me. I rebuke it. I rebuke it. I'm done. I rebuke it. And every time I, watch that baby, I held her. I was like, "Lord God, do not let anything bad happen to this baby girl. Do not. And if anything horrible happens, if she's not able to walk, talk, or whatever, God, we accept her regardless. And I ask that you show her purpose." I'm I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but oh God. I was not wanting to get emotional today for some reason. But I'd pray every single night, "Oh my God, protect this child. Protect this child. Protect this child." And now I've seen her before. And now she's walking. She's perfectly normal. She's able to walk. Like, nothing's wrong with her that I can tell, at least. I don't know if there is something wrong or not, but for me, there's nothing wrong with her. And because I know what I've been through, and I don't want any parent to go through, or any child to go through what I went through. I've got multiple stories about that kind of stuff, but that's gonna have to wait another time. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, collect myself. And if any of you have any questions, please ask in the comments or email me. My email should be on my channel. If not, I can always give it to you guys. Subscribe, share, like, and I hope this channel does encourage you. That's all I got for today. In one of my videos, look out, because in one of my videos I will have children ask me questions about cerebral palsy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put them on camera, and I will ask each parent if it's okay, and the camera will be facing mainly towards me, so that it protects the child, protects the parent, protects the family. So let's go. Have a great day. It looks nice out. Kind of windy here. A little chilly, but if you're able to, go out for a walk and, have fun and be with your family and cherish one another, and just accept you for who you are. Be kind to one another. There you go. Be kind. So, I don't know when I'm going to have kids ask me questions. It's going to be a series, and keep a lookout for that. But thank you for watching.